can hear you a little low. If you can, I don't know.
Oh yeah. Hold,
Hold.
hold.
We live, boy. So
Okay, how's that? Is that
there
a little
you
bit
go.
better?
Much better now. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So yeah, that's actually when I made mine. Is right after the rework, and then now she's basically is where my main is at like 1680, 1685 ish.
That's
So
crazy.
I freaking love War Dancer, man. Too
Yeah.
much fun. But the cool thing about the Arc passive now in 1680 is that it's gotten even more straightforward because the rotation was always really pretty much set, right? Your
Right.
4 spender rotation was very set,
Right.
but now we're switching to a 3 spender, which is really
Ah.
nice. And of course, we're gonna go over the rotation and everything here in just a bit. But for me, I like the arc pass. I like this fourth node. I feel like some people don't though. I'm not sure what percentage of the population that plays War Dancer does not like it. For me, I think it's more simple and there's just less things to do and you see more damage or you see bigger numbers. So, for me, I like that.
Less
Um,
less work, more damage. I kind of
yeah,
like
like I
it.
mean that's what I'm saying too. So, but yeah, so we can go ahead and start with the evolution tree. So obviously you're gonna go full spec into the evolution tree, and then the goal with your crit and swiftness is to have about 400 crit, or excuse me, around 300 to 350 crit, and then like around 400 swiftness.
Interesting.
And for me, I have a spec Swift bracelet. So I had to put a
Points on
little
crit.
more into my crit so that I could
Ah.
get it up here. But lots of people, ESA Word Answer was pretty flexible in terms of even like using critical or master elixirs.
Right.
And the bracelets were pretty flexible as well, even in tier 3. So lots of people are going to be running something like this if you have a spec crit
Right.
bracelet.
That's good to know because I have a couple of bracelets that I can actually change.
Yeah, very flexible. And I mean, of course, that's just made possible because of Arc Passive and with the evolution tree. It's so nice, man. I
Big.
can't wait for that update, by the way, for everyone to have Arc Passive. Holy moly. It's too exciting. But yeah, the goal is to have about 300 crit and about 400 or so swiftness.
Interesting.
Puts you in a good range. And then for your second line, depending on what your elixirs are, I have master elixirs. So typically, if I don't play with a crit sin, I'm going to run 2 limit break and 1 keen sense. If I have a crit sin, I'm definitely just putting all 3 on limit break, and my crit rate is ridiculous. I think in the Aegir I did yesterday, my Azure Dragon crit rate was like 94%.
Wow.
My Thunderclap kick was above 90 as well. My Rising Fire was also above 90. My Blast Formation was like 80 something.
That's good.
So yeah, it's just you have your access to crit rate is so nice. So yeah, I know if you run critical elixirs, if you do not have crits in, you're probably going to run 2 keen sense.
Interesting.
And then if you have a crit sin, you could probably take 1 off and go limit break. But also, you're getting a lot more damage or a lot more crit damage because you're elixirs, right? So
Right.
the damage is very similar. I have a buddy who has a 1680 Ward Answer as well, and I actually that's this we run in the same Aegir group, and
So
he has
similar
critical
damage.
elixirs. Yeah, and in the damage, the DPS overall through the raid is very similar. The
Yeah, yeah.
numbers are a little bit different for each skill,
Right.
but the damage overall is very, very similar,
That makes sense.
almost incomparable. It's very similar. So you can't go wrong with masters or master elixirs or critical. You're going to be just fine with either.
It's good to
So
know.
yeah, and then with the third line here, you're going to go strike. The reason you're going strike is because 3 out of your 4 skills have back attack. Your Rising Fire has back attack, your Blast Formation has back attack, and your Thunderclap kick has back attack. So let me just make sure on that. Yeah, so it's those 3, and your Azure does not have back attack,
Right.
right? But it still benefits huge from the crit rate of this. So that's why instead of running Zealous, which just gives you crit rate and a little bitty amount of evolution damage,
Damage, right.
you run Strike because you get pretty good crit damage as well. with all that. And the best thing is that you're getting that regardless of whether you're back attacking or not. Just because it's a back attack skill and you have strike, you're going to get the bonus. So you could be side attacking or front attacking,
I'm
you're still
still
getting
getting
the
the
bonus regardless.
right.
Yeah. So it's really nice this node here. And because there's no evo damage or there's no evolution damage associated with this tripod, I know a big concern well, not necessarily a big concern, more of a min-max concern is that getting too many nodes with evolution damage, it starts to kind of,
Diminish return.
yeah, you're getting some diminished returns, but you're not getting that with strike because there's no evo damage tied into this node.
Mm,
So any evolution damage you're getting is very good, which is why it's a big deal
right,
to
to
just
have it up
take
there.
one off here and go 3 limit if
Yeah.
you can, right? Because it's really showing, like, dude, when I do that, it's like, wow, these
Big
numbers
damage, right?
are,
The
yeah,
numbers.
it is noticeably bigger. Yeah. So for the fourth line, though, you're going to go standing striker. And I mean, this is pretty standard, right? There's no other real good option, especially for reclear raids and the raids that we have in the game right now. I just don't think there's really any other option. I'm pretty sure you could go in fighting if you wanted to. I know it's in the Nexus guide that it's possible to do this, but I just can't imagine. An experienced enough player that's 1680 that's played the game,
For
for
a
a
long
while.
time,
Obviously,
right?
you have, yeah. Just go standing striker. It's definitely going to be the better bet.
Good to know,
For
guys. You
the
see, not everything you see on the internet is what it is. Other people have,
No, it's true. And I will say this about Lost Ark Nexus, it's very good
right,
to get like a base build going, but then especially now with Arc Passive, there's so many different variations.
right.
So it's like it's a good blueprint to start from, but then you can just kind of like tweak it to
Testing
your own.
around,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. So for the Enlightenment tree, and as you can see here, I only have one ancient piece. I'm waiting for him to go down a little bit. I'm waiting
I
so
don't
I
blame
can
you.
buy some really good ones
Yeah,
around Brel. But yeah, because we just overpower the content so much
too
right now.
much.
It's
Yeah,
crazy. We just have so much. We're so strong. But eventually, right, when you have full ancients and you have everything, you're gonna go straight down this tree, 2 into overconsumption, and then depending on your accessory skill, you are either going to go esoteric combustion or the skill preparation. And I will get into that a little bit more in just a second when I'm going over the skills. For me, like I said earlier, the less work I have to do, the
or more
better. The
yeah.
less buttons I got to press to do damage, that's my thing. I like it. So I personally use esoteric combustion because I run sweeping kick. I do not run lightning kick or uh, triple fist. So
Okay, yeah.
I like sweeping kick a lot for several different reasons, and I'll get into it in just a bit. But this is why I run esoteric combustion. And then for the leap tree, all right, so especially for the content that we have in the game right now, I think for probably most classes, this is going to be a very standard setup. You're going to
Right.
go full hyper awakening, 4 into your hyper awakening technique, and then which is your T skill, and then instant spell.
Wait, so
And
mana? They use is that the mana one? The last one?
it's not so much for the mana, but it's the casting speed of Thunderclap Kick. It feels really good.
Interesting.
Yeah, because you get 8% cast speed.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
why I
yeah,
run it
yeah.
on too. Because there's a lot of kicks with
Right.
the Thunder. Oh, sorry, that's my wife. She just sneezed.
It's all right. It's all right.
um, yeah, so that's why I run it on
Oh, the
too.
8%
You,
speed
you could do this, but I feel like for 3% damage,
for,
this feels so much better.
for the rotation.
Um, yeah,
Yeah.
this might change whenever we get Simplify, which turns your Thunderclap kick into a normal skill, and it's really only 2 kicks.
Wow.
So it's a much quicker skill. But for right now, it's a pretty long skill, and so it
Yeah.
feels really good. But I never really have to worry about mana with this class. I don't think I
Right.
ever
Right.
really have either.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not so much for that, but it
Just
is
for the speed.
definitely for the casting speed.
That's
Yeah,
good to know.
yeah, for sure. And you'll see in just a second. I'm not sure. Well, you have one at 1640,
Yeah,
right?
but
So
I have not seen the full. You know, like everything that you have is just going to be completely different from what I have. I
that's
already
fair.
can
That's
tell.
fair. That's fair.
I already can tell.
Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much the basic build. Like I said, you can mess around a little bit with these two, but this is pretty standard. But let's go ahead and get into the skills. Okay. So not much is going to change, but of course, we're going to go through all of it. So you're taking Sky Shattering Blow, you're taking Weakness Exposure for the crit, and you're taking Ready Attack, and then you're still taking the Abundant Resources tripod, so you can get
Much
as
better.
many bubbles as possible. Because with the overconsumption node here, all of your esoteric skills take one more bubble. So your Blast Formation takes 3 bubbles, your
Interesting.
Azure Dragon is going to take 4, and your Rising Fire is going to take 3. Your Thunderclap is going to take 3. So
What?
it's very important that you
Good
are
boy.
able to get the bubbles. However, I will say, like I said, with Sweeping Kick, um, we'll get into it in just a second, and this is the most exciting,
Yeah.
but this is the thing I like the most. I guess it's the most controversial thing about Wardancer, which is why I like it. Probably why I like it the most. At 1680 anyways.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's actually easier. I know they take more bubbles, but if I find it's an easier full rotation to maximize. But yeah, so you're going to take a purple wealth on Sky Shattering. Now, if you're rocking Lightning Kick or Triple Fist, you can take a gold wealth here if you'd like. It's not going to make that much of a difference, but you're likely going to take a gold wealth here from what I found in what I'm testing. It just feels a little bit better with a gold. But because I run Sweeping Kick, I'm going to take a purple wealth here in Sky Shattering Blow. And you're just going to take it to 10. And then for your Rising Fire Dragon, you're taking Push Immunity. You're taking the Black Dragon Ascension and the Final Blow tripod, same as previously
Right.
with the purple Gale Wind. You're taking Energy Combustion still. It is a little bit different though. So you're not going to take energy combustion duration this time. So you're taking the extra orb generation here, right, with the
Right.
esoteric extortion, and then you're taking the skill reduction, and you're taking the last whisper. So this is like the damage tripod, right? Even though it does very minimal damage, especially with sweeping kick, because your sweeping kick is taking more damage or is doing more damage. So you have less stress with
Yeah.
energy combustion doing damage. So you don't even really worry about it doing
Yeah.
damage. It's
I,
just
I
it's just a
hate that.
plus.
I hate that missing the energy combustion because I'm away or something, so you can't really do that damage.
Yeah, it's very, very. That's a
Frustrating.
super frustrating thing,
Yes.
and
Yes.
I'm going to show you a rotation with like lightning kick and energy combustion being a little bit higher, and just show you how many more buttons you have to press to do essentially the same thing, which is why I do not run triple
Those
kick
two.
or sorry, triple fist or lightning kick. But roar courage, same thing, getting the crit, getting the quick prep, and of course getting the orbs. It's the most important thing. So you're just doing 3-1-2, and you can run you can run bleed here if you like. I run Gale Wind because it just, in my opinion, it feels better. I could be hallucinating, I really could, but I think it feels better. I feel like the skill comes out quicker, and I can cycle into Azure Dragon quicker. It's just the smallest difference, but I feel like there is a little bit of enough a difference, or enough of a difference, that it makes it feel a little bit better. So I like that. So it's a flexible rune here though. You could run something other than Gale Wind if you wanted to. And then Sweeping Kick
What normally people run with that? I don't even remember on courage. Like if it wasn't
on
that.
Courage. Yeah, you
I
could.
like the idea because it makes sense, especially those skills that can get interrupted. Because if you can
Hmm.
have a faster release, it's better. That way you don't miss that
Yeah,
crit.
yeah. You could run like Purify. You could run Bleed. You could run Poison. I I I don't think you'd run quick recharge. It seems like a kind of a weird place in the rotation to run it,
Right.
but yeah, I usually either run Galewind or Bleed. Those are the only two I've ever run. But after I started running Galewind, I noticed it just felt a little bit better.
Yeah.
Especially if you're running Mass Increase, this is gonna feel better. I don't run Mass Increase anymore, But if you're a mass increase enjoyer, which is totally fine, then and of course we'll get into the engravings in just a sec, but you're probably going to want to run Galewind. Yeah. And so moving on to sweeping kick. If you run sweeping kick, which I fully, very much so encourage you to do, you're going to run swift footwork. You're going to run light of justice and pure excellence. I think you don't have to run light of justice on this. I'm pretty sure that you could run intense shock for the crit damage, and I mean, the damage is going to be about the same. But take in mind that sweeping kick does 3 to 4% of your damage. So it's really not going to be too big of a deal whether you run the first line here or the first tripod on the second line or the third. It's just not going to be that big of a deal. So yeah, I just run Light of Justice. It's just a, flat outgoing damage. And the attack range plus 20% is nice. And I'm going to show you that in just a second as well. Then we going on to the biggest skill in your entire rotation course is Azure Dragon.
One of the best skill in the game.
Yeah, hands down, bro. It's the reason I made a Wardancer.
One of the best skill in the game, bro.
It's so sick. And we're going to run number 1 on here. So you get a bubble back. You're going to run Fire Dragon Fist and then Dragon's Fury. And, this is another tripod that you can kind of mess around with. I have used Dragonflight before. I think the only time that I've run Dragonflight, though, or one of the most consistent times, is when I was running Helkus, when I was running Helvicus, because she does a lot of weird patterns that for some reason this was just not, the first hit was not connecting. So I was missing my my Azure Dragon like way more often than I normally would. I'm not sure if it was just her patterns or like it was something with the game. I'm not sure, but this just puts it into a combo mode so that it guarantees the hit. Because with this tripod, of course, you have to, let me load him up real quick. You have to, like, this first hit has to hit the boss to release the second hit.
Oh, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Because if you just, like, do this and it doesn't connect,
it doesn't hit the second. Right.
Yeah. So it has to hit something to then push it. Now, if you're running the combo one instead, then, of course, you can go like this and it'll still hit.
Interesting.
But it's a little bit longer of an animation, a little bit longer of a skill, which I don't necessarily love.
Yeah.
And your damage comes out in kind of two parts a little bit.
So
yeah. I tend to pretty much always stick to this one.
Yeah.
It's it just comes out a little bit nicer. And how often are you really going to launch it and you're going to miss this?
Yeah. You don't want to miss that skill.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to miss it, but it does have, like, it has decent range, for Wardancer, as opposed to, like, Rising Fire, where, like, this misses, right? So this has a pretty good range on it. So you shouldn't miss it unless, the boss just does something really sudden. So that's why I tend to run Dragon's Fury 99% of the time. And then for blast formation, we are going 2-3-2 on this, just for the flame explosion, just to have more damage. The focus explosion, it feels so much better and actually does a lot more damage consistently than your great explosion would. It's so nice. So yeah, the focus explosion is good, and then final explosion is what you're going to do. And of course, this gives you a bubble back, which is, or it minuses 1 bubble, so it's really solid.
That's good, yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, we're sticking with Wind Whisper. This is your pretty much your second most important skill behind Azure. Actually, this could probably be rated your first because it gives you the attack speed and the attack power.
Right.
So you're taking Blessing of the Wind, you're taking Quick Prep, and you're taking Ready Attack. And, the whole premise is it still stays for Wardancer. You're trying to get
everything
as many
inside,
skills in Wind Whisper as possible.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
You're trying to put everything in there. So, yeah. And that's, those are pretty much the 8 skills. When we get into the rotation, I'll show you Triple Fist and Lightning Kick, and we can go over those a little bit.
Yeah. Especially because some people use them,
Yeah. Yeah. Because exactly. Because some people are going to use them.
Right,
So
right.
I think it's probably more appropriate whenever we get into the rotation, just to show the difference
Yeah.
there.
That's even
But for
better.
gems, guys, gems, I'm not gonna lie, this class is not super hungry for gems. You, I put on sevens for some of these because I have sixes and fives on some of these gems. Okay. The most important gems you have though are these three. It is your Azure Dragon damage. It does 35 to probably 45% of your damage, depending on the raid. For example, like in Aegir, a pretty standard raid where you're getting like pretty much your full rotation off most of the time, it's going to be doing somewhere between 35 to 40% of your damage. For something like Thamine Gate 2 or like Gate 4, when you're going into 4-2 and 4-3, it's much harder to get your full rotation off all the time. So usually your blast formation and your Azure Dragon are going to be doing most of your damage. So it's going to be even higher, probably like 40 to 50% of your damage is going to be coming through Azure Dragon. Okay. So this is a massive, massive gem. So whatever get your highest level gem on Azure, whatever it may be. And then your Wind Whisper cooldown and your Azure Dragon cooldown, they have to be the same and they need to be the highest gems that you have. This is what controls the start of your entire
Your
your start
rotation.
and restarting of your entire rotation. This is kind of what dictates
Super,
how
super,
quickly.
super important, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't miss out
These
this
two.
part. This is
Yeah,
super
these two
important.
are the most important. But behind that, of
Eso.
course, I would say Blast Formation is the next most important damage gem, because it's at the very start of your rotation every time, right? It's very rare that you're ever not going to send blast formation at the beginning of your rotation. So this is consistently, no matter whether the boss is moving around a lot or isn't, this is consistently going to be your next highest damage skill is blast formation because you're always using it first.
Right.
And then the next and most important would be Rising Fire Dragon after that. But I mean, those are your only important damage gems. Your next damage gem that you would run would be like Sweeping Kick
Mm,
or Energy Combustion. But because I run Sweeping Kick, I
right.
don't take a damage gem on Energy Combustion. But again, Sweeping Kick is like 3 to 5% of your damage. I have a level 5 damage gem on this, but it doesn't bring it into Trixium because it's level 5. So I had to put a level 7 on it for the gem sheet. Okay. Yeah, but you do not need a high level gem on this. You can go a little bit cheaper. Of
That's
course,
good.
if this is your main, you're min maxing as much damage as you possibly can. A 7 would be probably be pretty appropriate. Either a 6 or 7 would be good. And then the cooldowns. Okay, so we went over Azure and Wind Whisper. Those are the most important ones. They need to be your highest ones for sure. They need to be the same level as well. If you want your rotation to be smooth, if they're not the same, then it's going to be kind of wonky, or not super wonky, but it just won't feel as smooth as it could. But for the rest of these cooldowns, your energy combustion, you're going to take a cooldown gem on that. But again, it doesn't really need to be any higher than 5. If it's 6 or 7, of course, it gives you a little bit more wiggle room, but it's not really a tight rotation. Even if it's level 5, you still have a lot of cushion. So not super important on that one. Sky Shattering Blow, you can take a level 5 or level 6 and you're going to be fine here. If you have a level 7, of course, again, it feels a little bit better. You're going to have a little bit more cushion, a little bit more leeway just because the skill's coming off a cooldown quicker.
Right.
For Rising Fire Dragon, I would suggest you put a 6 on both of these, on Blast Formation and Rising Fire Dragon. It's going to feel better that way. You don't necessarily need it, but it's definitely going to feel better. I don't think it's necessary to have a 7 unless you just want your gym page to look nice. You know, yeah, a 6 is perfect and it's super affordable. So, this is, I think these two are flexible as well. It's nice because you can have a war dancer that you don't have to spend a ton on gems, as
That's
opposed to like an RE blade or something, or like a gunslinger. Like
right.
you're spending a lot on gems. It's very
Right.
important.
This
But
is
with
good.
Wardancer,
This
it's
is
more
good to know for
straightforward.
people that they have a tight budget.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah, very much so, very much so. Because like I said, you do have a lot of cushion in here. And I'll show you my gym page just so you can get a visual of it after all of this, and I get out of Trixion. I'll just show you the gym page of what I have. Um, but yeah, not too bad. And for your engravings, this is pretty standard. You're gonna go Adrenaline, Keen Blunt, Curse Doll, and Grudge. Raid Captain is the one that you have a little bit of leeway here. You could run Mass Increase instead.
Right.
It's kind of it doesn't feel fantastic because you're not running full Swift.
Yeah.
Um, so it doesn't feel fantastic to put Mass Increase here. You can also put stabilized status here if you want. Uh, Again, I wouldn't really recommend it. I think just the blanket option that's going to give you the best bang for your buck and consistently be the best is going to be Raid Captain. It's you don't have to think about it. It doesn't really have any drawbacks to it, and it's going to consistently do the best. Unless for some reason you're just not hitting your skills into your Wind Whisper buff, then and in that case, like, that needs to be addressed before you changing your engravings does. Like, you just got to learn how to fit all those skills into your rotation properly, or learn the boss patterns better so that you can fit it in or whatever it is, right? So yeah, this is pretty standard: Grudge, Cursed All, Raid Captain, Keen Blunt, and Adren.
Yeah.
That's
So Ray Captain is
there's
gonna be
not a
based on preference, either that
yeah.
or I think I
Yeah,
run mass increase myself, but
yeah, and you definitely can, right? If you don't mind the 10% attack speed loss, you can
right.
definitely switch that here and go mass increase instead. You can 100% do that.
Yeah.
For me, I don't love the feeling of mass increase, but that's it is your personal preference for that. You're getting about the same damage either way. But again,
Yeah.
it's really up to you. I think mass increase is gonna give you we're talking about, like,
Minimum.
1 to 2% more damage,
Yeah.
um, consistently, but again, it's really just preference. We're
Preference.
getting
Yeah.
into the very extreme min-max
Right,
area
right,
when we're
right.
talking about switching raid captain to something else. And then for the stone, so I think probably this goes kind of unanimously for most classes. Best stone is adrenaline and something else,
Right,
right?
right.
Adrenaline it is
You just so
really
good.
good on your stone. I personally haven't cut a 7/7 with adrenaline yet. So I don't have a stone that's adrenaline. I think mine is Keen Blunt and Raid Captain. But
They are
let me get the
expensive
wifey
too,
level
you
up.
know?
But yeah, they are expensive. I think they're over 1,000 gold per rock right now, something
Jesus.
like that. So I'm not even buying them. I'm just, if I
You
get
see
one,
that?
then I'll cut
Right,
it.
right.
Because again, we're kind of talking about that really
Main
min
max
max
is
territory. Yeah, if you can get a 7/7 with
anything.
any of these two, that's fantastic. That's really good, and you're going to be getting the greatest percentage of damage out of your rock. It's just a little bit less than if you would get like a 2 adrenaline or 7 adrenaline, 7 grudge, or 7 adrenaline, 7 keen blunt, or something like that, right? But in general, if you can get a 7/7 with any of these four, and of course, again, raid captain being your preference,
Right.
then you're going to be really solid, like really really good. And then for the hyper awakening and the T skill, so again, and I think this is why I really like War Dancers too, is because you do have a lot of variation and you can kind of just do whatever you want for a lot of these things.
Yeah.
Now, the T skill, you're taking Thunderclap Kick. There's no option there,
Yeah.
because it's an esoteric skill. It does a lot of freaking damage, man.
Right.
And yeah, it does more than your Zer Dragon. It just, of course, it's on a 1 minute cooldown. But if it wasn't, that'd be crazy. So yeah, but for the Hyper Awakening, you can take the traditional. You can take the traditional Hyper Awakening, which is or Hyper Awakening and Awakening. It was
Right.
this one, and now it's like giga juiced
Yeah. Dun,
into
dun, dun,
this.
dun, I love that.
Which is very cool. I do like this animation, and a good thing about it is that like if you're just close, right, you can just pop it and it's gonna hit,
Right,
and
right.
it's got a pretty wide range. So not too bad. Personally, lately, I think just because I've played with that one for so long, I've been using
That
the
one is
other
fun.
Hyper Awakening, the Flash Rage Blow, or the normal awakening, which the normal awakening is just like this. I think
Right.
it's kind of cool. I don't know. Um,
Once again,
so I,
preference, yeah.
yeah, so I've just kind of switched to it. In the Hyper Awakening, it's going to be in front of you. It has a pretty wide like AOE in front, but this is what it looks like. It's
Damn.
also pretty cool. And it comes out really quick, right?
Yeesh.
Yeah, it comes out really quick. So I do a lot of Theomines and a lot of Gate 4s. So I freaking love that gate, man. I love Gate 3 and Gate
Yeah,
4.
I'm
My
enjoying it a
favorite
lot
gates
too.
in the game. I
Yeah,
love it, man. That's good.
yeah. I started doing it like a
So
week ago actually, and I'm loving it now.
yeah,
Yeah.
dude, it's so good. It's so good. It's such a well designed raid gate. But yeah, so I'm using this one currently, and like I said, it just comes out pretty quick, and it's got a huge range in front of you. And I like the animation. I just think it's pretty cool. So that's the one I've been using. But again, here it's personal preference.
Right.
Even with the original one that you're pretty much using until now, you have a choice because of the Hyper Awakening. The old one, the Fist of Dominance, you get some DR in there as well, which is nice, right? You get 80% DR, which is crazy.
Right.
So that's pretty cool when you're just using the normal awakening. Of course, Hyper Awakening, it's like a time stop, so you don't take any damage regardless. But yeah, so this is again just a preference. But that's what makes Wardancer great. I'm just
There,
gonna
you
say
have a lot
it.
of options, you know.
A lot of options, and yeah, and you can't go wrong. I it I've noticed. I feel like this Hyper Awakening does a bit more damage.
Interesting.
Um, but especially in raids, but this is a big thing, right? Is if you're using your Hyper Awakening during a support's T skill, this is important,
Yeah.
right? You need to somehow coordinate that a little bit just to maximize your Hyper Awakening.
Right.
But it just does in general feel better.
I,
So
I can add a little bit into that. I think that the supports nowadays they're getting more comfortable knowing when to use that skill because they know
yeah,
that people are gonna be using the hyper awakening. You know.
yeah, I would agree, and we can just do a little test real quick. So this one does about 4 bill, um, and with this Hyper Awakening here, you're gonna do. Oh, whoops. Let's see.
Oh
It's
wow.
about 3.6,
Which
so a
is
little bit less,
right, right, right. So
but
wow, it's funny. I was using the other one thinking that's what damage. I'm
it
gonna change
looks
it
like
right
it
now.
does more, man. It looks like it does more because it's like boop, 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 boop.
Right, right.
But yeah, so I mean, yeah, 3.6 compared to 4, it is more damage. However, if you really like just, being able to pop this whenever you're anywhere around the boss,
Right, right.
and
I still get the damage, yeah.
yeah, like it's not, I mean, 300 million, that's like, bro, it's not
That's
it's
one
not
skill.
it's yeah, it's not that much damage. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like it's not that much. It's not that many skill. Like it's one Azure Dragon, So if you're just absolutely trying to parse every gate, then
Right,
yeah,
right.
you're gonna take this Hyper Awakening. Um, however, that's totally your preference. If you're just more casual, you want to just lay back and just kind of chill. Maybe you're gonna take this one, or you just maybe like the way this one looks better. That's fine too. So it's all good. But now we get on to the juiciness, right? We're getting into the
Yeah.
rotation.
The most important thing
Yes, yes.
is
Okay. So real quick, before I get too deep into this, is I want to go over the sweeping kick thing.
papi.
And with your opener, especially, or well, one of the reasons I really like sweeping kick is number one, the opener is extremely simple. And you can start the opener like you would, like you're just like in the raid already. You've been like
Yeah.
gathering bubbles. It's very good for that because it gives you a lot of bubbles.
Interesting.
Number one. Number two, the reason I really like sweeping kick is because the range on it is solid. Like I can be back here,
It's
it
still
hits,
good. Wow.
you good, you get bubbles. Okay, I even think it'll like hit from here. Yeah, so it's got really good range. So just in case something happens, or maybe he's doing a pattern, right? Or someone's doing a pattern, and you gotta kind of step out, but you need to get some gauge. You can get that, right? You don't have
Damn.
to be literally in his butt
Right,
trying to
right.
freaking get this gauge. And then it moves you forward. Okay. So this is a very, very good thing because you're going to be using this right before Rising Fire. So you're behind him, it moves you forward. You don't really have to like run up or, God
It
forbid, bro,
gets you
you got a
close.
space
Yeah,
bar
it gets
in,
you close enough
right?
to
It
use that.
gets you closer, which is very, very good. I
Use
know, like,
actually.
yeah, like moon flash kick and all that kind of stuff was like
Right.
it actually pushes you back. It's just bad, right? Lightning kick brings you forward, of course. Triple fist also brings you forward, but the big thing that separates sweeping kick from those two, and I'll go ahead and get into it now real quick. Just want to deplete my orbs. Is whenever you're going through your rotation, whenever you're going through your rotation, so if I start out at 3 bubbles, right, which is usually what you're going to have before you start going into rotation,
Right.
the best thing is that I only have to use sweeping kick to go into my next skill. Okay. If you don't
Ah,
use sweeping kick, you have to use
the counter.
sky shattering blow
Right.
and lightning kick
Correct.
or and triple fist to go into your next skill. Okay. So it's very needy. It's a very needy build. You have a lot of buttons to press and you need more things to go your way, right? Whereas with sweeping kick, you need to use one skill
And that's
and
it.
it's got a lot of range and it's relatively quick. It's not super slow. It's not it's not that fast, but it's
Right.
still very usable. And you put a gale wind on it, right? So or you put a wealth on it, but it has attack speed increase with the tripod. So it's pretty quick. Another thing, let me get into this real quick. The reason I like it is because right now, Thunderclap Kick, it takes 3 bubbles, but it doesn't give you any back.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this will change once we get Simplify, when we get bracelets with Brel. When you get your bracelets and you can put points on Simplify, as you can see, it changes Thunderclap to a normal skill. But after the first kick, it gives you 1 orb back. And
Right.
after 2 kicks, it gives you 2 orbs back. Okay, so
Damn.
yeah, so essentially you can get all 4 of your esoteric skills into your
Or
rotation. You
bubble.
can get Blast Formation,
Wow.
Azure, Rising Fire, and Thunderclap Kick whenever it's up into your rotation. Okay, which is going to
Ah,
be crazy.
that's gonna be huge.
Yeah, it's going to be insane, bro. But
Jesus
for
Christ.
now, when you use Sweeping Kick and your T skill is up, you can get 3 skills in, right? It's basically you can get 3 skills in. You can get Blast Formation, Azure, and you're going to send Thunderclap. However, because you don't have to use Sky Shattering Blow, you can immediately use Sky Shattering Blow and send Rising as well.
Wow.
Okay?
Yeah.
But when you run Sweeping Kick, you cannot do that. Okay?
Ah.
So it's just another reason why I really suggest using Sweeping Kick. Of course, it's up to you. It's your personal preference, but yeah, that's why I would suggest it. But let's get over the opener. But let's get into the opener real quick. So, opener, you're coming into a fight. Cooldowns, you're gonna go energy combustion first, and then again, the beautiful thing, you can go sweeping kick, and you just need like 2 taps, and then you're ready to go. Blast formation, roar courage, azure. You can go sky shattering into that. Okay, so
Right.
that's your opener,
Right. Right.
right?
Yep.
And only on your opener can you not get your 4 skills in
Correct.
with a sweeping kick because of course you have to use sweeping kick to get your initial bubbles. But every rotation after that, which is very simple, this is the very basic rotation. It's the greatest thing ever. 3
Yep.
skills. Boom, sweeping kick into that, and you're done. Yeah. And again,
I
see,
keep
I
telling
didn't have to
everybody it
use
has to be one of
yeah.
the best rotation in the game, 100%.
Bro, it's so simple.
The
And
best
it
rotation.
doesn't change. You know, like it's always just gonna go. It's
The
just gonna
same
go like
thing.
this, sweeping kick, and it pushes you forward.
And
Rise,
boom.
boom, and you're done. And that's the cool thing about sweeping kick as well. 5th point here, by the way, is that you can save your Sky Shattering Blow to actually counter. You don't have to use it in your
Right,
rotation.
right. That's
Yeah,
the
you
best thing
don't.
for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't have to use it because look, you can go in, boom, use all your skills,
And you're good.
and you can just chill. And as
And
far as adrenaline upkeep, like I can just turn this off, right? You can
right.
just turn it off,
And then turn it right back
and guess
on.
what? It's gonna turn it right back on, and then you're good to
Damn.
go, right? And then you're back in. You never have to. You never have to use it. Of course, like I
Wow.
could go, I
Right,
could do
right,
that if
right,
I
right.
wanted to or whatever, but you don't have to. And especially for things like Theamine, Gate 4, counters are important.
Yes, yes,
Even
yes.
Aegir, right? There's surprise pattern where there's a double counter, right? There's
Right.
a co-op counter when he's floating around and all that. So it's good to have that utility.
Yes.
But when you don't use sweeping kick and you're using, let me just switch this to like lightning kick real quick,
And
and I'll
especially
show
right now
you.
that you have only one counter with the word answer, because before
Yeah.
you can kind of hold a little bit the blue skill, if you
Mm-hmm.
wanted to, but now that you have only one, but still don't have to use it for the rotation. That's great. That's
Yeah, yeah,
great.
it's so good, dude. And again, I'm gonna show you. There's so much more stress when you have to use lightning kick or triple fist. It's essentially the same. It's just kind of a preference for whichever one you want to use.
Yeah.
But you go 14 on energy combustion, okay? And then you change your gems. So and obviously instead of me using a damage gem on sweeping kick, I put one on energy combustion, and then I
Good.
take the cooldown from sweeping kick and I would put that onto lightning or
Right.
triple fist, whatever your preference, but you don't run a damage gem on it. Let me go ahead and put this over here.
The AP attack power 6.8.
Yeah, yep, yep. And then for your rune, you're gonna run. Usually, you're gonna run a purple gale or a purple,
Oh, he already showed it.
purple wealth on this, and you would convert this to a gold wealth if you're running lightning kick or triple fist. That way, you could put a purple wealth on this one. Where is it? There it is. Okay. So for this rotation, here, let me go ahead and get this out. So your opener, if you run this, would look something like this. So you're gonna pop and go sky shattering into lightning, and then wait
Interesting.
a couple ticks, and then go here, and then you have to wait, right? And then
Oh
you still have to
wow.
wait, and then it's like
No,
I still have to use lightning
that's
kick
not.
again to get more
Yeah.
bubbles, and then I can kind of like cycle this for adrenaline if you want, but just
Uh,
check it, okay? So we go back into here, we go boom. I have to wait, right? So I
yeah,
still
that's
have to
not
wait.
good. That's not
Yeah,
good.
so you have to, when you're going through your rotation, you have to use both of these. So boom, and then I have to go in and
Oh
then
no,
use
that's
that
not
so I can
good.
use this. Okay, and now again, all my skills are on cooldown, and you have to wait.
Oh no,
Okay,
that's not good. Hell no.
y-
So wait,
yeah,
they actually recommend that on the guy on Nexus?
it's an option. It's an
Wow,
option. Yeah,
interesting.
I don't recommend it.
Thank
Personally, I
God.
don't. I think it feels terrible.
Thank God.
And I can very much understand why if someone is running lightning kick or triple fist that they do not enjoy this because it is kind of
Ah,
ass. I'm not gonna lie,
wow.
it is
That's
not
probably
fun.
why they're complaining because
Yeah,
you gotta do your homework, guys, huh? Thank
bro,
me for
I'm
these
telling
videos,
you, do
babies.
not do this. But if for some reason you're just
Yeah.
like, yeah, I love pressing buttons and having high stress to do damage, I don't know, then you would not use energy combustion. You would use esoteric skill preparation
Right.
because when you're using your normal skills, it like ramps up the next esoteric skill that gets used. Excuse me, it is going to ramp up the damage for that
Ah,
because you're using more normal skills, right? Because
right.
now you have lightning kick and sky shattering battle that you are always
Ah,
using,
right,
and
right.
you have your esoteric combustion. Oh, also hold. I forgot. You have to also release esoteric combustion within that window.
Yeah.
because it becomes a higher percentage of your damage.
Oh
So it
no,
gives you
bro.
even more stress, bro. So
No, no, there's no
yeah, so you have
way.
to go boom, boom, lightning,
And then
up,
the
and then
combustion.
SO.
Oh no,
Yeah, and then
nobody got time for
combustion.
that, bro.
Yeah, bro,
Are
it's
you
not good.
crazy?
It's not good. It's not good. I'm telling you, man, don't
What
do it. Don't do it. I'm switching
the
back right now. I can't
Yeah,
do this
yeah,
anymore.
yeah. Thank you for
I'm
the
switching back,
demonstration, but
bro.
that hell
No, I
no.
can't do this anymore, man. I can't do it.
Diatre.
Get me out of here. Let me switch this back real quick.
Jesus Christ. So what it will do maybe like a little bit more damage, I suppose, because it's like some more complex.
It's not.
Not
It's
even?
not. It's not doing any more
Wow.
noticeable damage, okay? Because
That's crazy.
sweeping kick, it's gonna take or it's gonna do like 3 to 4%, right?
Right.
And since you're not running a damage gem on esoteric or sorry, on energy combustion, it's doing like 2 to 3%. So total, these two skills are doing about 7%, 7 to 8%, we'll say. All
Yeah.
right. If you run lightning kick or triple fist, now triple fist or lightning kick is doing a little bit lower and energy combustion is a little bit higher.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so it's
see.
still doing these two skills are still doing somewhere around 7 to 8%.
So same shit,
But
but
of
way more
course,
work.
yes, and like I said, with energy
Damn.
combustion, when you're running energy combustion, oh, let me change this real quick. Sorry. When you're running, I can't change it during combat. Oh my goodness. When you are running, maybe,
Still cold.
please, there
There
we
you
go.
go.
When you're running energy combustion with this build with sweeping kick, you don't have to turn it off or like make it explode within your Wind Whisper, okay? Because the damage is so low anyways, doing like 2 to 3%,
Right.
it's like even when you're min-maxing it, bro, it's just there's no point. Like there's really no point. You're trying to, get out another 0.5% damage. Like
Right.
hello?
Like
That's nothing, right? And so trading it for the comfort and you can upkeep your adrenaline with it. You can you get utility to actually use your counter as a counter when you do this.
damn.
There's just there's so many benefits, right? And like I honestly I just don't see any downsides. And like the
Yeah.
full rotation going in T skill, you can go like boom and you can get them all off.
I love that,
You're
man.
Yeah, and you're
That's
not getting Rising Fire off in Wind Whisper, but you have ready attack on Sky Shattering. So even with the full rotation, when you're doing all of them like back to back, you're just going boom, 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 and then you're going in and doing
that's
Rising
my
Fire.
build. That's my build.
You're still getting the buff with ready attack. Yeah, you're not getting the full like raid captain and everything because
Yeah.
you don't have it in Wind Whisper. However, you're still getting it off in that rotation as opposed to when you're not running sweeping kick and you're running triple fist or lightning kick, you cannot get that off
Right.
in that rotation.
Because
So it's kind of
suppression,
just
yeah,
scuffed. Like you're just losing an entire Rising Fire Dragon whenever you
right.
use your T skill rotation,
Yeah, that's
you
true.
know? Yeah, so it's like it's kind of booty cheeks. I'm not gonna lie, man. It's not preferable. Yeah, it is not preferable. Now, I do want to say the rotation, it is modifiable. However,
Yeah.
really the only reason that you would modify it is if and I can only think about this in very, very specific situations, mainly in Theomine Gate 4. There are a couple other ones, but you will use push immune skills quite often in Gate 4,
Yeah.
in 4.2 and 4.3.
Right.
And if you need to, for some reason, you can throw Rising Fire in because it's your push immune skill. It's your only push immune skill.
Right.
You can throw that in. I don't want to say anywhere in the rotation, but if you have to, like if you really need to, you can, right? You
Yeah.
can throw this in pretty much whenever you want. So, for example, it's going to make the rotation a little wonky, but if he's about to do,
Like the hand.
I don't know, like you could go like this and you could go Rising Fire and then go into Sweeping Kick and
Yeah,
do
yeah.
your Azure last. But as much as possible, you want to make sure that you're at least doing blast formation first, and
Yeah.
then you can kind of trade out either Fire Dragon or Azure Dragon, or sorry, Rising Fire or Azure Dragon. You can kind of switch those out if you need to. It really depends on the pattern of the raid, but 99.9% of the time, it's just Wind Whisper into Blast Formation, Roar Courage for crit, Sweeping Kick, and then
Yeah, I love the word
your
answer,
Rising
bro.
Fire.
Yo, you saved my life because today I'm gonna do a game 4 on my word answer, and I didn't know we even had tenacity. I'm like, damn, bro.
Yeah, bro, you have tenacity.
I haven't looked at my skill for the past 2 years, bro. I swear, this is Argos days, bro.
Yeah, it's not super long, but you know, Thamon, he has a couple of patterns that you can push immune, but it's telegraphed.
Right.
So, you know, if it happens at that time, you're like, oh, you know, I just pop it real quick. All right, I'm saved.
But what
You know,
about
type of
the hands? You know, the hands on 4-2, where can you actually
Oh.
you can immune that, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, you can, because you have a lot of paralysis immune skills. I think pretty much everything is paralysis immune except for Sky Shattering, Roar, and Wind Whisper. All of your actual attack skills are these 4, and I guess Thunderclap Kick. You can use that as well. And Thunderclap Kick is a really long skill, so
Right.
you know, if you're scared or something, you know, you can just like kind of save it and use it for that. But and then also Sweeping Kick is
interesting.
it's not a super short skill. I mean, there's, you know, it's got
It's
a
pretty
little
long,
bit of
yeah.
time. Wait, holy shit! I actually hit him from there. Oh my god! All right, yo, this skill is actually, it's OP. It's so good. But yeah, so kind of looking forward into the future real quick, just a little bit, just to get even more excited about Wardancer. I'm not gonna lie. Is when we get Simplify with the bracelets, whenever we get bracelets, hopefully it's in January.
You know, 15
hopefully it's
is
in
spoiler.
January. Fingers crossed, please. Then and this becomes a normal skill, and it's only 2 kicks, right? It's gonna become very short, so it's gonna look like the time is gonna be like very, very short, right? Literally, probably something like that, because it's gonna go boom, and then it's gonna hit, the big kick. So it's gonna like hit once, and then just send that that big kick. So with Sweeping Kick, hold on, with Sweeping Kick, we're probably going to be able to go boom, or sorry, I actually started that late. I think that we're going to be able to get all 4 skills in to our Wind Whisper. So we can go like boom, we'll pop this, and then if it's just a little bit, then we'll have enough orbs, because we get orbs back, right? Because we get orbs back. So immediately after sending this, we don't have to use another skill. We send it, and then we go straight into Rising Fire.
That's gonna be so much damage.
Yeah, bro, it's a massive rotation. So we're literally just gonna go in, boom, and if you can just look at the time on Wind Whisper, I could
you can send it. Yeah, you have it.
Yeah. If this gave orbs back, it just you send it straight in. And
I can feel the power.
You have a massive 6-second rotation, bro. Massive 6-second rotation. And even if you don't have a massive 6-second rotation, maybe you just have a few seconds. You know, like in Thamon Gate 4, this is very, very common in 4-2 and 4-3, where he's in the middle of doing a pattern, and then you pop Wind Whisper a little bit early and kind of spacebar in, and just get that off, and you're good, right? Because he's going into his next rotation. So I mean, it's very rare to get a full rotation in 4-2 and 4-3. He just doesn't stand there for 5 or 6 seconds.
That's
right?
true.
He's always moving. So this is a rotation that you could use, is like right in the middle when he's almost finished. You can pop Wind Whisper spacebar in, and then get it off.
And that's you're
kind of like moving around
because
again,
you want to prioritize your bigger pump.
Yeah, your Blast Formation and your Azure, without a doubt, they are the biggest like normal skills, right? Of course, Thunderclap Kick does a lot of damage. You work it in when you can, but for very quick 2 to 3 second rotations, that's what you're gonna do. Is you're gonna go Blast Formation into Azure. And then, you know, if it so happens that you can, you know, get in Rising, great. But if not,
then you at least
in a regular raid, these 2 skills do 60% of your damage. These 2 alone. Okay, so that's just, it's kind of something to think about, that you can prioritize those in that way. But yeah, I mean, that's I think that's pretty much it. I'm not sure if I have any other little tidbits. I
love the fact that it doesn't really change much from what I'm already playing, except that, you know, it's only 3 spenders, and it actually looks kind of easier with more damage, like you're saying, bro.
I'm telling you this. I don't know how people are upset about this. It's so good.
I'm
so hyped, bro.
Jesus Christ. Let's go.
It's so good, man. It does so much damage.
I
I'm
have a
just
question
telling you.
for the chat too, because I'm pretty sure they always asking me about when do you think is people are able to change with the art passive, like how many pieces, like 2, 3, 1?
If you can get to the third node here, like if you can just get third node,
Yeah.
I think realistically you could switch with you could probably switch with one piece.
Interesting.
If you're levels, I think if you're level 70,
Okay.
you could switch with one piece because you could go.
Oh, this is actually prompt to
You
change eventually.
you
If we get the art passive, you get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, whenever okay.
Right,
This
right.
is what you need. This is what you need. You need 2 points in this line and you need strike because this
Okay.
crit rate, it's going to feel really bad if you don't have this crit rate.
Yes, yes. On this
Um
class, even though it's a crit
y-
synergy class, you still need
y-
a crit.
yeah, so the crit is going to be the biggest issue
Right.
if I mean, I guess what you probably do is if you were short on pieces, you would run 2 keen sense no matter what
Yeah.
and then strike 1.
To compensate.
However, if you're 1640 after the Arc passive update, right after we get that update, you're going to have enough to go here anyways. If you're 1640 with all relic, right,
Right.
you're going to have 100. You're going to have 100, right?
Right.
I believe that's right with
Yep.
all relic gear.
Yep. It's 100. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. So this is probably what your build is going to look like. You're just not going to have access to standing striker quite yet, but yeah, for right now, until we get that update, I think you can run this. The biggest issue is going to be crit
The
though, and
crit.
this is
Yeah.
with 2 pieces. I think this is with 2 pieces.
Yep.
So that's going to be the biggest thing is just the crit rate. Which I mean, I guess technically you could kind of take some off a Swift and you could put some on a crit here
Right. Depending on
if
your
you wanted
bracelet, not
to.
too.
Yeah, also, yeah, with the bracelet, if you have a spec crit bracelet, then that will help. So you could switch. I think overall, you're likely to do with your rotation, you're likely to do around the same damage. With
Right.
hyper awakening, though, now see with the leap, with your
Correct.
hyper awakening, adding in double damage almost on your
On your
or
your
not
hyper.
double damage, but 50% more damage on your hyper awakening and more damage with your T skill. You're likely going to be doing more damage overall.
Right. Right.
So yeah, but that's kind of the bottleneck here is the crits if you don't have enough pieces currently in game.
Very important.
Yeah, but if you have 100, then you're gonna go. Actually, if you have 100, you'd probably do
The bottom.
this. Yeah, you would try to get this one node here. So you would probably go like 1 keen sense, 1 limit break. Or again, depending on your setup, you could go 2 limit
Right.
break
Right.
here
So you got like
and
some
1.
wiggle room that you can,
y-
depending.
y- Yeah, and again, that's why Arc Passive is so great,
Yeah,
right? Like
definitely.
that's why it's so much better. So yeah, this is probably what it would look like. I haven't actually thought about that. So yeah, that question definitely caught me off guard a bit, but yeah, that's probably what you would do. A little bit of theory crafting there. That's probably what this would look like. Something close to this, anyways. Like I said, if you have critical elixirs, probably you'd go into keen sense if you only
Right.
had 2 on this. But yeah, something like that.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's a little sad not to create your blue dragon, you know.
Yeah, and you need to crit, man. It's not quite as needy as Surge,
Yeah,
but the skill does almost 40% of your damage. It
it's quite
needs
a
to
lot.
crit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it needs to crit, and it just feels terrible when it doesn't. Oh my goodness, it feels so bad.
It's like the Glavier.
So,
It's like the
oh my, don't get me started, bro.
Glavier.
Oh no, when I don't crit, Oh, my freaking
Jesus.
red
I saw
dragon
you
horn,
not
bro.
critting for like 5 times in a row. I'm like, no.
A tear comes down my face.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so sad.
Damn.
Especially because you do so much more damage now with
Right.
the arc passive Glavier, you know. It's 1680 plus, you
Yeah.
know, especially. It's just like, dude, every time you're about to do your RDH, it's like, oh, here comes the big boy. You know, and then when you do it doesn't crit, you're just like, no, not like this. Not like this, please.
Wait until the next rotation, another white number.
Yeah, man, it's the worst. But yeah, anyways, like any questions? I think that's pretty.
Anybody has a question, guys, in regards to Wardancer? I'm pretty sure he cooked up with the class.
I tried to hit the hidden tech a little bit, but
no, I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good. Oh, real quick, and you know, while people may be thinking about their questions or
Great
something
job,
like that.
indeed.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Bunny. I appreciate that.
Yes.
But yeah, I want to show you my gems. So I'm about to buy a level 8 for my Rising Fire, but yeah, like, dude, I have a 5 on my Sweeping Kick, 5 cooldown on my Sky Shattering, my Rising Fire, and my Energy Combustion, and then a level 6 on my Blast Formation. Because for your rotation to feel great, this is just, you don't need to have more than this. And I'll go back in a Trixian right now and not change a thing. That way the gems don't change. But you'll see my rotation is still, it looks the exact same.
I got you, thanks. He explained everything very well, just like his YouTube videos.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's why he's so good, huh? He already got the experience. What a savage.
Yeah, so like when you're going into your rotation, whoops. When you're going into your rotation, what the heck? Oh, awkward. Wait, what the heck? All right, anyways, I don't know what. Anyways, okay, when you're going in your rotation, wait, why isn't that giving me enough?
It doesn't have the
something, bro. Something goofy.
Yeah.
It's one of my tripods or something. I'm not sure.
Oh, maybe you changed the tree and the art passive, maybe? No? And the spec? No, maybe. I don't think so, right? No.
Oh, wait, hold. What the heck? All right.
And it doesn't even go up.
Wait, what? This says not enough resources. What is happening? Hello?
He got bugged.
Trixian?
Yeah.
Guys? Help? Send help?
Is that wrong with the whisper to blast to our original?
We go back in. I'm not sure. That was weird.
We got bugged, right? Yeah.
Right, do I have enough resources?
No, that's weird.
Wait. Yo, what is happening?
Maybe because it doesn't have the gems?
Nah, I mean, I should still be able to use the skill. What the heck is going on? I don't know, man. That's
actually weird.
I just can't use my skill. Wait, what? Like, huh? I can use the other ones, but I can't use my Azure?
Why?
No, guys, please. No, we broke the game. We broke the game.
Yeah,
oh,
shit.
No. Okay. Anyways, though, yeah, you don't need. I don't know what the heck.
Like high gems. You don't need high gems.
I've never seen that. That is strange. But guys, yeah, you don't need like crazy gems.
I got 7, so you're saying 7s is okay, and then I had to prior those 2 skills on 8s just for like a better rotation. If I really want to be.
I would say even if these just need to be your highest, right? If these are 7s, then like everything else can be a step down, a step or 2 down, easily, right? I mean, because like these are 8s, and I still have 5 on energy. I have 6 on blast formation, 5 on rising, and 5 on sky shattering blow.
That's really good.
Yeah, because again, sky shattering blow is not used off cooldown anymore. Right?
Yes,
so
yes.
It doesn't have to be used in the same way that it used to be before you're 1680 and you're getting that 5th node, or that 4th node. And then I have sweeping kick level 5, and that's just because again, it's only 3% of your damage. So I was like, dude, why do I have a level 7 on this when I could put it on one of my other alts?
Right.
That's a much higher damage scale. So that's just me min-maxing my gem efficiency for my whole roster.
That's
If
smart.
this is your main, you're probably gonna have a level 7 here.
Right.
You know, you're probably gonna have maybe like all these 6s just for a little bit more comfort, which eventually, you know, I'll probably get there as well. I'm just saving gold for accessories and stuff like that because I want to get good rolls. So yeah, but I mean, that's pretty much it, man.
All right. Hey, some claps on the chat, guys. Some claps on the chat, huh?
Yeah, that was fun, dude.
He did a great job. What do you guys think? This make sure to follow him right here. And I should actually have a YouTube. I'm gonna post. I'm gonna put all your information anyways on my YouTube channel so they can actually reach you. You know.
Yeah, cool. I'm looking forward to it, and I think then the next video I make as well, I'm gonna make sure and try to push them to the guide and to your series and everything too, because I'm gonna do a little bit something for Glavier as well on my channel,
Nice.
just because I know there's a couple of different builds out there, so I kind of want to go through a few of them, and you know, I'm definitely gonna push them all to your guide series too, because I even watched I watched Cappington's, I watched the GS one, and I watched Matthew's
On the blade.
his RE blade one.
Yeah.
And bro, it's really nice, man. I learned quite a bit because
Me
I play
too.
Surge
Me too.
and I was thinking about switching to RE. My Surge, my blade is only 1666 right now.
Yeah.
But you know, eventually I'll be able to get that 4th node. And I'm kind of thinking about
I
switching
know,
to RE.
right? I'm like, damn, bro. I'm gonna have to swap.
It looks so crazy, right?
Jesus Christ.
Oh my dude, the surge animation or the surge skill for RE it's OP. Like they knew exactly what they were doing when they made that,
they know
bro.
what they're doing.
They knew exactly what they were doing.
Jesus.
Golly. So yeah, it's a cool series. I love that you're doing this, and
Thank you,
I'm
man.
really excited that I was able to at least do it on Wardancer.
Yeah, thank you for being part, man. And then maybe
Yeah.
like if I cannot find a Glaver, and maybe you can do it, you know.
Bro, send it. I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in, bro.
I'm just trying to give each person like the opportunity.
Of course.
But if not, then definitely can fail for sure.
Yeah, just let me know, man. I mean, I'm in. This has been a blast.
All right, much love, Papi, and I'll see you around. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, man. Have a good rest of your stream, 4K.
All right. Thank you.
I'll see you later, bro.
All right.